힘들다 힘들어. 뭔데? 디오 메인 꾀를 할 수 있는 것인가? 이거 팔고 우선 필요했었던 거 새로 들어와 있었으니까. 제작이랑 얘네가 뭔가 참고로 많이 같은데.
Ren is mightier, Miles.
And what else did Lady Forsythia say?
That she'd rather drown herself than help the Inquisition.
Anything else?
She said she'd have us flogged alive if we allied with her brother.
That does sound like her.
Cheer up, Josie. We at least have her attention.
You always do find the brighter side of things. We are in the midst of cementing an alliance with Lady Forsythia of Nevarra, your worship. It's become a somewhat delicate task.
Can I do anything to help negotiations?
Thank you, but I believe I have matters in hand. I dissuaded her from sending soldiers when she learned we'd struck an accord with a brother she's feuding with. Lady Forsythia simply employs a colorful manner of speech.
You're rather good-natured about threats of death and dismemberment.
They are chiefly bluster, Inquisitor. Most of them. But I confess I do miss my staff from the embassy in Antiva. It was always useful to discuss the day's visitors with them.
I have time if you'd like to review things with me.
I wouldn't wish to impose.
If it were imposing, I wouldn't have offered.
Well, I admit there are a few potential alliances it would be good to discuss. Right on the parlor floor, in front of everyone at the soiree. Who does such a thing in front of their guests?
The Duke of Kellington, apparently.
And then there's Cole's lurking. It frightens our guests half to death. Lord Gennard still won't respond to our letters. And Sarah, can she not find a single overshirt with that mustard stains on it? Then there's Dorian. The man refuses to take anything seriously unless it suits its whim. Not to mention... Oh goodness. Have we been here an hour already?
It went by so quickly, I didn't even notice.
You're far too polite. I didn't intend to go on for so long. You must think me quite the gossip.
여기서 또 러브
Spending
스토리가?
time with such an engaging woman is never unpleasant, Lady Montillier.
Goodness. Well, I'm glad I haven't wasted your day. Well, I've taken up quite enough of your time already. Until next time, Your Worship.
계속 말을 걸어서 호감도 늘려야 되는 건가? 어디 갔어? 방이고? 어디로 가야 되는 거지? 숙소에서 나가는 법 알려주시오. 하는 문 어디야? 계단?
pleasure.
You haven't really gone into deep.
We met. It seems terrifyingly long ago now.
How?
I discovered our name apparently satisfied. Leliana greeted me in place of the merchant.
I.
It was a test. Leliana claimed I accepted once she finally.
Do you remain?
Yes, but Leliana used to wander. Now she collects secrets and takes risks that would make empires tremble.
Does Leliana?
She enjoys revisiting our more disastrous adventures. Run if you ever see her with a twine ball, a measuring stick, and a handkerchief.
Who?
Officially, the prince in quite loudly, I might add.
What?
As may I just say, one has never heard an argument until they've sat in on 15 princes howling down each other's tariff suggestions.
I'd storm.
It would be fitting. It's all a part of life in Antiva. Our traditions
Are you
I can be just... Might we speak of something else? The Montiliers were forbidden from trading with Orlais.
Does anyone in order?
I doubt it.
What exactly?
An affair with a minor lord. Perhaps.
Are you saying?
Essentially, Orlesian politics are full of these unhappy little missteps, Inquisitor.
Where were you?
I was born in Antiva, but I bowled into her skirts the day I had to leave. I did, but my mother only wanted the best for me. Living in
What did you learn?
Among other things, I still remember Madame Beventine, for a dowager approaching her 80th year.
How did the younger you?
Have you ever stepped into... That was Val Royeaux to me. So beautiful.
Does Antiva City have?
Antiva City is a... But there are multitudes of places I'd like to see. Seheran, the...
Tell me about.
Well, of my 4 siblings... That reminds me. My youngest sister has no head for social engagements. If you're unfit for the task, the heads of the house, usually one's pack,
What do these Antiva?
they work and provide guidance. Father's more of an artist. Between him and my siblings, mother's looking forward.
Between that and the.
Delegation, but managing the estate is my duty. As much
Is running.
I'm taxing as those duties can sometimes be.
I think you're too finicky to give those responsibilities to the rest.
You don't know them, but Laurie... No, truly, it must be me.
What's.
Antiva, that's what I miss most.
I.
Everyone, the finest, the waterfronts never still.
Are you ever?
Occasionally. My youngest sister used to throw whole
Let's speak.
Goodbye. It's good to see you.
How do you stay?
Bonzo. And I do deplore rudeness in those who know.
Does it?
Well, the game can... But honestly, I'd miss meeting people. I've made the most fascinating...
Better than making part.
I've had both, but worth it, all in all, I think. We've gathered many favors among the nobility. They will be gently reminded of this.
Let's speak later.
Farewell.
To work?
잡으러 가는 거냐 이제? (16에서 19) 가도 되나? 한참 낮은데.
With an Illuvion, Corypheus could cross into the Fade in the flesh.
Indeed, the Inquisitor can attest that these artifacts still work if one knows how to use them.
What happens when Corypheus enters the Fade?
Why, he will gain his heart's desire and take the power of a god. Or, and this is more likely, the lunatic will unleash forces that tear the world apart.
Reasons for stopping Corypheus have gone from revenge to keep the world intact.
'Twas always so, was it not? The madman would bury us all.
Pardon me, but does this mean everything's lost unless we get to the Illuvian before him?
Corypheus has a head start, no matter how quickly our army moves.
We should gather our allies before we march.
Can we wait for them? We should send our spies ahead to the Arbor Wilds.
Without support from the soldiers, you'd lose half of them.
Then what should we do?
You follow the orders of your Inquisitor. All three of you. Josephine, have our allies send scouts to meet us in the wilds. Leliana, your fastest agents will join them. Together, we'll have enough spies to slow down Corypheus's army until Cullen's soldiers arrive.
Such confidence. But the Arbor Wilds are not so kind to visitors. Old elven magic lingers in those woods.
We'd be remiss to not take advantage of your knowledge, Lady Morgan. Please, lend us your expertise.
'Tis why I came here, although it is good to see its value recognized.
Any further instructions, Inquisitor?
The Inquisition began as a handful of soldiers. Thanks to you, we're now a force that will topple a self-proclaimed god. I could ask for no finer counsel, no better guidance.
I speak for all of us when I answer. We could ask for no finer cause.
We'll hound Corypheus in the wilds before he can find the temple or this Illuvion.
저기 이렇게 단합이 잘 된다고. 제발 랩차 때문에 빡세려나? 전술지 않은 거야. 가자. 최종 결투를 앞서는 씬 같은데 느낌이 그러니까 근데 함정이야. 몰살당했어.
Inquisitor,
How goes the battle, Captain?
the Red Templars fall beneath our blades, your worship. Commander Cullen says they're nearly finished. Our scouts saw Corypheus traveling towards an elven ruin to the north. We can clear you a path through his armies.
Do only what you must. We need enough people for a celebration when we get back to Skyhold.
We will not fail you, my lady, no matter what comes. Andraste guide you, Inquisitor.
I wonder, is it Andraste your soldiers invoke during battle, or does a more immediate name come to their lips?
They show me respect, Morrigan. No one mistakes me for the Maker.
True, you are far more likely to come to their aid than a Chantry fable, but I digress. If your scouts report accurately, I believe these ruins to be the Temple of Mathal.
Which is?
A place of worship out of elven legend. If Corypheus seeks it, then the Illuvian he covets lies within. Let us hope we reach this temple before the entire forest is reduced to ash.
관문이 여러 개란 소리 아니야? 첫 번째 관문.
Inquisitor, I hear this Illuvian line. That's where the fighting will be worst. Andraste keep you safe.
Our soldiers...
Then good luck.
We are gladdened to see you, Herald. This day will be recalled for ages.
The sight of our Olesia...
Your worthy call. Men with us.
다 와 있네. 대장들은 안 왔어? 쭉 가는 거냐? 정면으로 가면 그때는
Now that's a view. Get your blood going.
If the soldiers aren't careful with their fires, they'll do Corypheus's work for him.
Do you sense the magic crackling? Something more powerful than the Red Templars stirs.
As the sun renews itself, so must Andraste help me.
down the hill, Inquisitor. He wishes to join you for the last push.
기본 좀 렉이
다듀 카리어아이님 첫 번째 추천 감사합니다.
대두님 추천 감사합니다. 서로를 끌어줘가지고 잡는 건 있잖아. (15) 15레벨짜리 템이 나와. 하고 왔었어야 되나?
Down you go!
도망가.
Those were Grey Wardens. They must be the last of those enslaved at Adamant.
We'll remember the men they were, and we'll avenge them.
빡센 것 같은데.
The monsters are running, your worship. For the Inquisition!
도망가고 있다는데.
For Haven and the Divine.
너는 망했어.
There, ahead. An entire camp of Red Templars.
Watch yourself! Archers on the wall!
20레벨이야. 레버부터 하고 가야 되는 것 같은데.
Those elves. They didn't look Dalish.
It seems this temple of Mythal is not deserted after all.
Perhaps these creatures are the reason few return from the Arbor Wilds.
16레벨은 맞추고 왔었어야 되는데. 주는 애들이 어그로를 어떻게 끌어주느냐가 문제인 것 같은데. 물약 보급, 그치, 물약 보급 해줘야지. 들이 하나씩 매복을 해도 장비가 일단은 지워지고 가야 되는 건가? 첫 번째 건물 이렇게 멀게 느껴지는 게 금방이었던 것 같은데. 네. 사들이 좋은 것 같은데. 시간 중에 발동시켜야지 뭔가 데미지가 올라가. 볼 수 있을까? 데미지가 반밖에 안 들어가는 것 같은데. 번째 관문인데 바로 마지막 관문이라고. 오랜 장가가 없지. 따라가면 되는 거. 너 피해. AI 똑똑한데? 목을 좀 하고 가야 되는 것 같은데 기본적으로.
Good hunting, Inquisitor. We are keeping them at bay. Follow the river to the temple.
강 근처 만에 대기시켜놨다. 잡는 거는 경험치가 사냥이 안 될 것 같아. 회복하려면 한참 멀었잖아. 하는 건가? 가만히. 소리가 무섭다.
There. That must be the Temple of Mythal.
I hear fighting ahead.
설마 용이 또?
Namelana Sobanalen.
The wretch mocks you, master.
These are but remnants. They will not keep us from the Well of Sorrows.
Well of Sorrows.
Be honored. Witness death at the hands of a new god.
방어막 그냥 뚫고 들어가네. 뭐야? 공간 넘어간 건가?
It cannot be!
Across the bridge, now!
다시 부활한 거야? 뭐야? 숙주가 되는 건가?
At last, Mathal's sanctum. Let us proceed before Corypheus interferes.
If he's here for a mirror, why'd Corypheus say he wants a well of sorrows?
I am uncertain of what he referred to.
You were guessing. Corypheus might not be after this alluvion. It might not even be here.
Yes, I was wrong. Does that please you? Whatever the Well of Sorrows might be, Corypheus seeks it, and thus you must keep it from his grasp.
Let's find this well before Corypheus's people do. I want to know how Corypheus returned to life. We saw him die.
And his life force passes on to any blighted creature, Darkspawn, or Grey Warden.
And Corypheus cannot die. Destroy his body and he will assume another.
We'll find a way to stop him once we're done here.
'Tis strange. Archdemons possess the same ability, and still the Grey Wardens are able to slay them. Yet Corypheus they locked away. Perhaps they knew he could do this, but not how.
도망 온 애들은 어디 갔어?
Yes?
Are you certain Corypheus is using the power of the Blight to make himself immortal?
Perhaps you forget. I was in Ferelden during the Fifth Blight. I have seen a true Archdemon rage. How Corypheus gained the power to send his soul into blighted bodies, that is the real question.
Will answering that question let us destroy Corypheus for good?
Perhaps. I would suggest first dealing with the well. If Corypheus obtains it, any chance of success could be lost.
Do you know what this part of the temple was used for?
The room we stand in is a vestibule, not the temple proper. To those who knew it, perhaps this ritual was little more than a polite knock at the gate. These customs must have been as familiar to ancient elves as bowing to a queen is to you or I.
I find it difficult to picture you curtsying to anyone.
Have we become so familiar you can predict my manners and customs now? Nothing is lost by indulging in the occasional civilized conduct, particularly when unexpected.
You said this Mythal was worshipped as a goddess.
So one assumes. What is a god but a being of immense power? The dread old gods were nothing more than dragons, after all. They rise as archdemons, and they die. Perhaps Mythal was a powerful elf, a ruler among her kind. History often plays storyteller with facts.
You admit lack of knowledge, and yet dismiss her so readily?
I do not dismiss her. I question her supposed divinity. One need not be a god to have value. Truthfully, I'm uncertain Mythal was even a single entity. The accounts are varied.
There are varied accounts of Mythal.
In most stories, Mythal rights wrongs while exercising motherly kindness. Let fly your voice to Mythal, deliverer of justice, protector of sun and earth alike. Other paint her as dark, vengeful. Pray to Mythal and she would smite your enemies, leaving them in agony.
More Dalish tales, I assume.
You've seen the elves here. They seem odd.
Indeed. Two things are possible. One, this is a group of Dalish separated from their brethren, cultists, fanatic in their desire to keep humans away. Two, these are elves descended from the ancients, having resided here since before the fall of Alathan. The second appears unlikely, but if true, the implications are astounding.
풀을 팔 수 있는 건가?
If they keep records, it could change everything we thought we knew about history.
'Tis thrilling, no? To discover an era thought lost forever has possibly thrived in the shadows. We may, however, find these elves reluctant to part with their long-kept secrets. Yes?
Do you know what this part of...
to the... These customs must have been as familiar to ancient...
I find...
Have we... Nothing is lost by indulging in the occasional civilized...
You...
So, the dread... Perhaps...
You wouldn't...
I do not dismiss her. I question her... Truthfully, I'm uncertain Mythal was even a single entity. The accounts are...
There are...
In let... Other...
More Dalish tales, I assume. The oldest accounts say Mythal was both of these, and neither. She was the mother. Protect... That is all I will say.
Whatever the truth, all accounts of Mythal end the same. Exiled to the beyond with her brethren.
What do you mean?
Tricked by the Dread Wolf, as all the elves. Many Dalish believe this is why the elves fell from grace. Or perhaps they were simply rulers slain by Tevinter.
You've...
Indeed. One. Two. The second appears unlikely, but if true, the implication...
Is that...
With mad... Whatever... A more sensible question might be...
Let's...
As you wish.
좀 튕긴 하는 길에.
It appears the temple's magics are still strong.
Ancient Elven. I can't make out much.
Atishol vir Abalasan. It means enter the path of the Well of Sorrows.
There is something about knowledge, respectful or pure. Shiven. Shivenen. Tis all I can translate. That it mentions the well is a good omen.
At least we know the Well of Sorrows was important.
Supplicants to Mythal would have first paid obeisance here. Following their path may aid entry.
So, good Andrastians, we offer a prayer to elven gods.
If need be, do not step any place you have stepped before. There can be no vacillation. This is where petitioners walked the path of their gods.
It is where they paid fealty to the gods. I have seen it, in the Fade. Only the reverent were permitted to touch this ground, and only in solemn contemplation.
Yes?
Let's continue.
As you wish.
된 거야? 뭐 이렇게 간단히 울린다고 문이? 수수께끼가 좀 쉬운 편인 게임인가 보고.
I see the Venatori have already encountered the temple's guardians.
Those elves lay an impressive ambush. Where are they?
Preparing another display of hospitality, no doubt. Why would this be here?
Something wrong?
It depicts the Dread Wolf, Fen Harel. In elven tales, he tricks their gods into sealing themselves away in the beyond for all time. Setting Fen Harel in Mythal's greatest sanctum is as blasphemous as painting Andraste naked in the chantry.
Some chantries display statues of Andraste's betrayer Maphrath as part of the chants.
It might fulfill a similar function. A reminder of vigilance for the faithful.
For all your knowledge, Lady Morrigan, you cannot resist giving legend the weight of history. The wise do not mistake one for the other.
Pray tell, what meaning does our elven expert sense lurking behind this?
None we can discern by staring at it.
둘이 사이가 안 좋구만.
We can send for historians once peace is brought to this forest.
The inhabitants of this temple may not appreciate guests.
Don't let them pass!
이게 많아. 일찍 썼나? 더 있는 것 같은데.
Come on, we might catch them.
Hold a moment. While they rush ahead, this leads to our true destination. We should walk the petitioner's path as before.
You forget that army fighting for us out there? Longer we play around, the more Inquisition soldiers die. There's a hole. Jump in.
In this case, I must agree with the witch. This is ancient ground, deserving of our respect.
You see the urgency? We cannot find the Well of Sorrows unprepared.
We don't know what's behind those doors. They might have a reason for going another way.
Had they the option, they would have proceeded. That must lead to their goal.
Their goal? Or yours?
There is a danger to the natural order. Legends walked Thedas once, things of might and wonder. Their passing has left us all the lesser. Corypheus would squander the ancient power of the well. I would have it restored.
I should take your word that this is altruism and not hunger for power.
Yes. Far easier to believe the Witch of the Wilds full of greed. Mankind blunders through the world, crushing what it does not understand. Elves, dragons, magic. The list is endless. We must stem the tide, or be left with nothing more than the mundane. This I know to be true. I read more in the first chamber than I revealed. It said a great boon is given to those who use the Well of Sorrows, but at a terrible price.
What exactly did that altar say about the Well of Sorrows?
Like most elven writing, it was insufferably vague. The term I deciphered was Halam Shivanas, the sweet sacrifice of duty. It implies the loss of something personal for duty's sake, yet for those who served at this temple, a worthwhile trade.
Did you not trust me enough to tell me about this price when you read it?
I hoped to find more information. If I intended to cheat you, I would have feigned ignorance entirely. My priority is your cause, but if the opportunity arises to save this well, I am willing to pay the cost.
And gain what?
That is what we must discover. The rituals may point the way.
식이 길을 알려준다고? 식으로
Will you abandon these rituals, Inquisitor?
식을 어떻게 해?
Yes.
More rituals. What?
I believe they signify it. Mathal's cult was not fond of vacillation. One approached them with
What happened to those?
legend. Perhaps this place has a more gruesome history than we know.
I.
An opportunity to use. All I meant to suggest is that, if it does, I be the one to do.
You would pay the.
We know Corypheus see. We also. So yes, I would take my chances.
What if I?
What would you propose? Leave it be.
You're better than.
I am. The discussion may be moot. We cannot know.
You said you want to preserve old power.
There is a struggle to control. History haunts us, Inquisitor. It's... For all the evil that was, there is also good. I will fight for it. I must.
I'm having trouble picturing you.
You would not be the first, I assure you. I'm not a child grasping after a toy. Let us turn our attention to hunting your...
의식을 행하라. 의식을 어떻게 행하는? 또 수수께끼를 푸는 건가? 한 번만 밟아야 되는 그건가? 똑같이? 이런 오호 넘어갈 수 있냐? 머리를 잘 써야 해, 여기서부터. 없냐?
Indeed. Time to proceed to the next ritual, I should think.
당글로님 어서 오세요. 쫓아가는 게 더 나았던 건가?
Yes,
Let's continue.
as you wish.
도망가야 된다. 대각으로 가면 안 되는 건데. 돌아. 이렇게 갔어. 돌았어. 트로.
There. The ritual is complete.
We are close. There is but one more path to follow.
증거는 어떻게 가니?
What's this?
I believe we are in the presence of the elven goddess Ondrul, Lady of the Hunt.
Or a goddess of sacrifice, according to some.
Truly? I wonder if that is why Ondrul's patron animal is the hare. 'Tis said the Dalish invoke her before a chase, especially if they happen to be stalking humans.
스토킹이라고?
My clan avoided human settlements. Never mind raiding them.
A sound
후왕공님도 어서 오세요.
tactic, if one has room to maneuver out of harm's way. Other Dalish clans do not keep so scrupulously hidden.
그런 데는 어떻게 가? 상자 하나 없다. 뭐 높은 곳에서 볼 수 있는 그런 게 있는 것 같은데. 막혀 있잖아. 이쪽으로 가서 한쪽으로 나오는 건가? 발을 떼면은 끝나는 거네.
Yes.
Let's continue.
타임투님도 어서
As you
오시고요.
wish. Yes.
너한테
Let's
얘기하려는 게
continue.
아니야. 점프
As
뛰어서
you wish.
가려는 거야.
Yes.
그만해.
Let's continue.
As you wish.
점프 뛰어서 들어가려는 건데. 그렇게는 안 되나? 나가면 끝나니까 나중에 들어오는 건데 뛰어서 어떻게 들어오지? 희한하. 당기기? 문이요. 저쪽에서 와서 이걸 당기고 가는 거구나. 그러면 반대쪽으로 갈 수 있게 해야 되는 건데 좀 여기서 이제 어떻게 해야 되는 거지? 이렇게 가서
Yes.
그만.
Let's
그만.
continue.
As you wish. Yes.
Do you know what?
Ancient texts.
말 좀 그만하고
I see
싶은데.
no more insufferable. As you wish.
와 그만하고 싶다. 이렇게 당기고 가서 갔다로 통과를 하고 된 건가? 짠! 아, 됐다.
Everything is lit.
Come. Let us see if the doors have opened.
전투를 좋아하는 애들은 그걸 별로 안 좋아하는구나. 업사이들만 좋아하고. 좋은 게 꼭 있을 것 같진 않은데.
Tis not what I expected. What was this chamber used for?
We're being watched.
자꾸 스피어던인가?
Venavis. You are unlike the other invaders. You have the features of those who call themselves Elven. You bear the mark of magic, which is familiar. How has this come to pass? What is your connection to those who first disturbed our slumber?
I won't be interrogated at sword point. Declare yourself.
I am called Abelas. We are sentinels, tasked with standing against those who trespass on sacred ground. We wake only to fight, to preserve this place. Our numbers diminish with each invasion. I know what you seek. Like all who have come before you, you wish to drink from the Vira Belasan.
The place of the Way of Sorrows. He speaks of the well.
It is not for you. It is not for any of you.
So, you're elves from ancient times? Before the Tevinter Imperium destroyed Arlathan?
The Shemlen did not destroy Arlathan. We Elven warred upon ourselves. By the time the doors to this sanctuary closed, our time was over. We awaken only when called, and each time find the world more foreign than before. It is meaningless. We endure. The Vera Balasan must be preserved.
What is this Vera Balasan exactly?
It is a path, one walked only by those who toiled in Mithal's favor.
He speaks of priests, perhaps.
More than that, you need not know.
Solus, perhaps he'll listen to you.
What shall I say, Inquisitor? Shall I sway him from a millennia of service by virtue of our shared blood? He clings to all that remains of his world, because he lacks the power to restore it.
부책임해 갑자기.
Our people have lost everything. They need you. They could learn from you.
Our people? The ones we see in the forest, shadows wearing Valisleen. You are not my people. And you have invaded our sanctum as readily as the Shemlen.
We knew this place was sacred. We've respected it as best we could.
I believe you. Trespassers you are,
갑자기?
but you have followed righteous petition. You have shown respect to Mithal.
의식을
If these
행하면
others are enemies of yours, we will aid you in destroying them. When this is
이렇게야
done,
도와주는구나.
you shall be permitted to depart. And never return.
This is our goal, is it not? There is no reason to fight these sentinels.
전 샘을
Consider
얻으려고
carefully. You must stop Corypheus, yes, but you may also need the well for your own.
필요 없을 것 같은데. 동맹을 지금 레벨이 낮으니까 동맹을 맺고 가는
I
게
accept
낫겠죠?
your offer.
You will be guided to those you seek. As for the Vera Balasan, it shall not be despoiled, even if I must destroy it myself.
No!
Morgan!
뭐야? 안내를 따르라고? 역시나 힘을 탐하는 자가 배신을 하게 돼 있는 거지. 무슨 의식을 또 완료하라.
This would be our guide.
Mytholanast.
That's helpful, since Morrigan chased off on her own.
She seeks to protect the Well of Sorrows.
네. 빨간색은 왜 있는 거지?
This place looks untouched.
You have any idea how much this place is worth?
We did not come to cut off the last of elven glory.
I'm just saying.
팔을 18레벨이 돼야 된단 말이야. 랩제가 높구나. 도와줘야 되는 거. 싸우고 있네.
Penshra, Gilas Velathan.
I believe she would prefer that we remain close.
Just a quick look around.
진동이 왜 오지? CCTV. 전투 없이 뭔가 돌아가는 길을 알려주는 건가? 지름길 같은 거 주는 거. 전투 없이 갈 수 있게.
The Sentinels are holding against the Venatori.
We should hurry. Their numbers are not endless.
Vir Sumiel.
문 열면은 그건가? 싸울 수 있는 건가? 뒤치기. 하지만 손해가 좀 있죠. 페퍼는 맨날 왜 지금 전투로 안 하고 갈 수 있게 해주는 건데. 어디 갔어? 열어줘. 야, 문 열어줘. 잡아야 되는 거? 끝이야? 여기까지가?
The Well of Sorrows.
Maker's balls.
So Mithal endures.
That's... something.
So close. The Well knows its vessel, and those who would despoil it. Stand aside, Inquisitor. The trials you set me, I have overcome. As a courtesy, leave now. Or not at all. Your lust for power has blinded you, Calpurnia. Corypheus is using you. Think on your own folly before inventing more. You serve your people, you have one last chance to save them. The Well of Sorrows overflows with knowledge, power abandoned by those the elves worshipped as gods. To walk the Fade without the anchor, that is what the Well of Sorrows will give Corypheus. If that's the case, why isn't Corypheus clawing at the well? I will carry it like a jug brimming for his use. Can you not see? I knew you would take the well for yourself, to ransack its wisdom to try to defeat Corypheus. But you'd still be just a child, playing with a sword. Corypheus will wield it as a master.
죽여야 되는 거야. 어떻게 해야 되는 거야? 설득을 해야 되는 거야.
Once you've drunk from the well, Corypheus will use a ritual on you. You'll be a mindless tool, enslaved to his will. Where I come from, idle tales must be proven. Here, the page with his binding ritual. You tried it on your master, Erasthenes. How could you know? And these runes, no one has written in these since... He made so many promises, and everyone a lie. Venhidus Cavern Vass. He was to give Tevinter a true leader. If Corypheus would misuse me, he'd misuse them too. I was blind. Perhaps Tevinter does need a strong leader. Be that woman while you can. You mock me, Inquisitor, as if you'd let me walk away. If that's your wish, I won't stop you. If Corypheus triumphs. Listen, if any power can challenge him, it lies in the well. Perhaps its price is too high, but if you can take it, humble him. Vitae Benefaria, Inquisitor. Do not follow us. I will give you some time. I go to confront my master. Then I will return to Tevinter. If there is anything left of me.
그렇게 쉽게 설득이 된다고? 매덕의 지팡이.
You heard his parting words, Inquisitor. The elf seeks to destroy the Well of Sorrows.
So the Sanctum is despoiled at last.
You would have destroyed the well yourself, given the chance.
To keep it from your grasping fingers. Better it be lost than bestowed upon the undeserving.
Fool. You'd let your people's legacy rot in the shadows.
Corypheus needed Calpurnia to use the well. Without her, there's no vessel to claim it.
The moment we leave, he will send more forces to secure this place. The well clearly offers power, Inquisitor. If that power can be turned against Corypheus, can you afford not to use it?
Do you even know what you ask? As each servant of Mythal reached the end of their years, they would pass their knowledge on through this. All that we were, all that we knew, it would be lost forever.
It's better that knowledge remain in the well, never passed on. You'd rather destroy it.
There are other places, friend, other duties. Your people yet linger.
Elven such as you?
Yes, such as I.
You have shown respect to Mythal, and there is a righteousness in you I cannot deny. Is that your desire? To partake of the Vira Belasan as best you can? To fight your enemy?
Not without your permission.
One does not obtain permission. One obtains the right. The Vira Belasan may be too much for a mortal to comprehend. Brave it if you must. But know you this. You shall be bound forever to the will of Mythal.
Bound to a goddess who no longer exists, if she ever did?
Bound as we are bound. The choice is yours.
Is it possible this Mythal might still exist?
Anything is possible.
Elven legend states that Mythal was tricked by Fen'Harel and banished to the Beyond.
Elven legend is wrong. The Dread Wolf had nothing to do with her murder.
Murder? I said nothing of...
She was slain, if a god truly can be. Betrayed by those who destroyed this temple. Yet the Vira Belasan remains. As do we. That is something.
Are you leaving the temple?
Our duty ends. Why remain?
There is a place for you, Lethaline, if you seek it.
Perhaps there are places the Shemlin have not touched. It may be that only Uthenera awaits us. The blissful sleep of eternity never to awaken, if fate is kind.
You could come with us. Fight Corypheus. He killed your people.
We killed ourselves. Long ago.
Malas Amalin Nahalam Abalas.
뭐야, 그냥 가?
His name, Abalas, means sorrow. I said, I hoped he finds a new name.
You'll note the intact Illuvian. I was correct on that count, at least.
Is it still a threat? Can Corypheus use it to travel the Fade?
You recall when I took you through my Illuvian, I said each required a key? The well is the key. Take its power, and Mythal's last Illuvian will be no more use to Corypheus than glass. I did not expect the well to feel so... hungry.
Don't go any closer, Morrigan.
I am willing to pay the price the well demands. I am also the best suited to use its knowledge in your service.
Or more likely to your own ends?
What would you know of my ends, elf?
You are a glutton drooling at the sight of a feast. You cannot be trusted.
Of those present, I alone have the training to make use of this. Let me drink, Inquisitor.
You alone? This is my heritage.
I have studied the oldest lore. I have delved into mysteries of which you could only dream. Can you honestly tell me there is anyone better suited?
What about you, Solus?
No. Do not ask me again.
I would be.
You lead the Inquisition. This is not a risk you can take. I have the best chance of making use
못
of the
믿겠다.
well for everyone.
안구로 왔더니
Let
어서 오세요.
me drink.
You're not concerned about the price. Bound forever to the will of Mythal.
Bound to the will of a dead god? It seems an empty warning. Perhaps a compulsion yet remains. Who can say otherwise? I do not fear it, even so.
양파 공자님도 안녕하세요. 이거 선택을 어떻게 해야 되는 건지 참 재밌게 하고 있습니다. 위쳐3가 이런 느낌일 것 같은데 위쳐3를 아직 안 해봐서. 한글 패치가 DLC가 안 되고 본편은 다 됐다고 들었거든요. 근데 본편도 뭐 검수가 완벽하지는 않았다고 들어서 저도 그냥 오리진 그 베이식 게임 패스로 하고 있는 거라서 중간부턴가 좀 보니까 약간 어색한 해석도 있는 것 같아요.
I hate to say it, but Abelas's plan to destroy the
이해하는데
well
크게
may
뭐
be the best
문제는
one.
없는 것 같아서.
What happens when Corypheus comes for you again? He is
끝까지
immortal.
먹으려고 그러네 얘는.
The wisdom of the well may include a way to destroy him. Give me this and I fight at your side. I shall be your sword.
Thoughts?
She is right about only one thing. We should take the power which lies in that well.
I trust you with this power more than her. But it's not for me to decide.
Any chance this well could help us against Corypheus? I say you take it.
Enough deliberation. Give me your decision.
Looking at it, listening to it. That's not just knowledge from the ancient elven priests. It's their will.
How would you know such a thing?
아니요, 그냥 실시간
Abelas
전투예요.
was telling us. The collective will of the priests puts anyone who drinks under a compulsion.
보통 난이도로
a
전
gas.
지금 했는데 전투가 그렇게 어렵지는 않은 것 같고요.
That would match the legends, but it does not tell us what the gas entails. I would still use the well, but you are right. We must be cautious.
줘야 되는 건가? 욕망이 있는 것 같은데.
It's yours.
저는 그 뭐지 처음에 전사 캐릭 양검전사로 했는데 전투를 잘 못해가지고 전투도 좀 어려웠는데 궁수 얘로 하니까 전투는 좀 쉬워지는 것 같아.
Morrigan! Are you alright?
Elasin Salah. Visan.
외계어를 남발해. 비비엔느가 뭔가 되게 차갑더라고요. 걔도 좀 약간 마음에 안 드는 게
I am intact. There is much to
뭔가
sift through.
걔도 자신만을 위해서 뭔가를 하는 것 같아. 뭔가 그 대화하면서 호감도 걔 쌓으면 연애도 한다는데 동성 연애도 있고 여러 가지 있다고 하던데.
The Illuvian!
Through the mirror!
찢었어. 못 따라오겠네 그럼. 이거 뭐 DLC까지 그럼 다 하신 건가요? 캐릭터 이름을 아실 정도면은 역시 몇백 시간 이상 하신 분이라.
It is done.
아,
I'm pleased to report we won the battle, Inquisitor. When you went through that mirror, Corypheus and his archdemon fled the field. I'm not sure why.
What he wanted was no longer within the temple.
Perhaps. He spent so long trying to get into the temple, he probably couldn't have helped his forces by that point.
Then Corypheus is finished.
If he is wise, he will hide and rebuild his strength before he attacks again.
He will not hide.
You sound pretty certain when you say that.
The Well of Sorrows held many voices, and they speak to me now from across the ages. They hold wisdom, secrets I never dreamed possible. But even they fear what Corypheus has become.
Should we fear him more than his army?
Possibly. Luckily for you,
좀 있다고?
he has a weakness. The dragon he calls is not truly an archdemon. It is a dragon in which Corypheus has invested part of his being. He doubtless did so out of pride to emulate the gods of old.
미쳐
That
하셨구나.
pride
미쳐는데
can be
뭐 워낙 많이들
exploited.
하셨어가지고.
Kill the dragon, and his ability to leap into other bodies is disrupted. He can be slain.
못 죽이면 된다고?
You're sure? If there are no bodies for him to jump to,
You assume there is a limit to the range of his power. There is not.
Then what do you propose? Killing the dragon is no simple task, if it could even be found.
There is a way to defeat the dragon, to match Corypheus in his power. The well whispers it to me now. Your help will be required, Inquisitor.
뭔가 전투 방식이나 이런 게 좀 어렵나요? 옛날에 나온 게임들은 좀 편의성이나 이런 거가 많이 어렵다고
I'll
해서
see to
길
Skyholt's
찾기도 그렇고.
defenses in the meantime.
제가 길 찾기를 진짜 못해가지고 이 게임도 하다가 좀 많이 헤매는데